Hello and welcome to Storytime about when I should have reported a creepy officer who pulled me over, but I didn't back when I was like probably 21. So I was a musician for a long time and I had just gotten done performing a gig, and that day I actually had a hangover from the day before, so I did not drink at all at my gig. And even if I were to, I was careful about that type of stuff, so I probably would have had like one drink, but I didn't. Anyway, no alcohol in my system at all. And I pack up and I'm dead because I've already worked that day, or going to classes, I'm not sure, and then had a gig and I'm just dead. And I had been sleeping over at my boyfriend's house for a few days in a row, so I had my whole suitcase in the back of my Hyundai XG350 at the time, and I also had a pack of Oreos for some reason. So after my gig, I am starving and I'm driving home and I'm eating these Oreos and some of the crumbs are getting on my shirt. But then all of a sudden, there was no one around. The roads are like dead. It's like, I don't know, maybe 10 p.m. This officer puts on their lights and I have to pull over. But I can't really because I'm on this like 3-lane intersection thing and there's not really a place to pull over, but I pull over anyway. And he goes, "I smell weed in the car." And I'm like, "What?" Sorry, I have to backtrack for a second. He goes, "Why did I pull you over? Do you know why?" And I'm like, "No, I have no idea." And he said, "My tail light is out." And I was like, "Oh, I had no idea. I'm so sorry." So I thought I'd just be like, fix a ticket, whatever. But then he goes, "I smell weed in the car." And I didn't have weed in the car, okay? And so anyway, he's like, "Don't lie to me. I know you've been smoking. Like, mind you, I can't even smoke weed because it gives me panic attacks." And then he points at my shirt. I have Oreo crumbs on my shirt. And he's like, "There's shake on your shirt." And I'm like, "What is shake?" Because I don't even know the weed terms, okay? And he insists that there is shake on my shirt, which is like weed crumbs, I guess. And I literally pick up the pack of Oreos that I'm eating and I'm like, "Hey, this is what is on my shirt. It's Oreos." And he's like, "I'm going to need to search your car." And I'm like, "Okay, there's nothing in here, so whatever." And then we're in the rain, by the way. And he's like, "Well, I can't really do it here on the side of the road. Let's pull into Wendy's." And then he directs me into the Wendy's drive-thru. I'm not kidding you. He tells me to go into the Wendy's drive-thru. There's a point where I don't think that the people in the drive-thru realize there was like a search going on, so they start honking at me and stuff to move. And I'm like, "I can't move. I'm about to get my car searched." So anyway, we're in this Wendy's parking lot, and finally he's like, "Okay, now let's move to a parking space." I'm like, "Why would we not do that in the first place?" And I don't even know. I guess he had like probable cause to search my car. I'm not sure at the time. I was just like kind of scared and like, what's going on? So anyway, the one thing he did find in there, I did have a CBD like pen thing that I tried like once because I heard it helped with anxiety. It did nothing. I felt nothing, so I never used it again. And he pulls it out and he was like, "Ha, see, I told you there's weed in here." And I'm like, "Sir, did you read the label?" And he looks at it and there's this huge like no THC, contains no THC like label on it, and I have not touched that thing in months. It's just in my car, so yeah, maybe it looks a little sus, but like it's just there. And I'm like, "Honestly, sir, you can throw that away. I will never use it, and I haven't been using it." And he was just so excited because he thought he got something on me, but he did not. And anyway, I think he did throw it away, but he continues to go through my car and then he gets into my suitcase, okay? And the weird part about this is he takes out all of my underwear. Like, I keep a bunch of underwear packed in a suitcase and like pajamas and stuff just so I don't have to pack like every time. So he takes out like 7 pairs of underwear and just lays them out in an array around my car, and he's like inspecting each one. And finally he's like, "You know what? I didn't find anything. You can go." But then does not give me a fix-it ticket, says nothing about why he pulled me over, leaves all of my underwear in this weird array, but he took nothing else out but my underwear. So anyway, the next morning, because it was closed, I go to like AutoZone or whatever, and I'm like, "Well, I definitely have to get this fixed because I don't want that to happen again. That was weird." My taillight wasn't out. My taillight was never out. So anyway, I just think that guy was creepy. He seemed like he was like a little bit younger, maybe in his 20s, 30s, like younger 30s or later 20s. And I feel like I should have reported it as like a weird pullover because he had no reason to pull me over, no reason to search my car, and then just got into my underwear. So yeah, that's my story. And I have some other weird police stories as well that I'll probably share later. But thanks for listening. I like to listen to these stories. That's why I wanted to start making them myself. Hope it wasn't too boring. But yeah, if it happened to me today, I would have reported him.